Hit it off the end of the bat, popped it up. Espinal is there, and the Blue Jays will win it as Romano comes on and picks up the save, and they have made it 2 in a row over the Cubs.
Boy, a very good game all around. A couple of home runs. Teoscar with a 3-run shot in the 6th. Vladdy with a solo shot in the 7th. Another good night for the defense. They turned a couple of double plays. Teoscar made a heck of a running catch in right field. And the bullpen stepped up big time, anchored by the big man, Jordan Romano.
A couple of much-needed wins for the Blue Jays as they keep pace with the Rays and Mariners and put another game between themselves and the Orioles. It is time now for Sportsnet Central. Here are Jesse and Carly.
This is Sportsnet Central. Blue Jays postgame coverage is straight ahead, but first, we want to let you know that the Yankees and Angels are playing right now on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet Now. It's tied at 2s in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We'll take you to that game following this show. Hello, Canada. Welcome to the show. Carly and Jesse here with you after another win for the Toronto Blue Jays. Make it 2 in a row. We can officially call it a streak. Thankfully, the late-night rally caps not needed this evening, although the Jays did come from behind to win again, led by Teoscar Hernandez.
Yes, and it was Jordan Romano getting credit for that 4-out save. And Jamie, I know you had been hinting at this on your Twitter feed, his 7th multi-inning appearance. I can't help but wonder if you're going to touch on the fact that this is the 6th time that John Schneider has asked him to do that. So with more and their thoughts on the ball game, let's send it over to Jamie and his companions.
And Carly, to add to that point, they've won all 6 of those appearances, so I guess there's a reason why Romano's coming in for a little extra work these days. We'll get to that in a minute. First of all, if you watch the weekend series, when the Blue Jays lost all 3 to the Angels, you saw a whole lot of imperfection and in some cases, perhaps a perceived lack of effort. What did you see in Tuesday night's victory here over Chicago?
Yeah, really simple. A good, clean, crisp Major League Baseball game. And that's what it's going to take to win. And look, at the state of where they are in this season, they can't beat themselves, and they beat themselves. They kicked the ball all around the ballpark against the Angels, but tonight was different. And it started last night. It really goes back to last night. They were really, really close to playing a really solid Major League Baseball game. You see the diving catch by Teoscar Hernandez there. They were focused. They came out. The effort was noticeable. They didn't beat themselves. They have so much talent. All they have to do is not get in their own way, play their game, Joe, and they're usually off and running.
I think what we saw on the weekend, Jamie, was a classic little blip of a 162-game schedule. You are going to have ups and downs, both physically and emotionally, and they can't get much lower than they were on the weekend against the Angels. They were not playing very good, crisp baseball, as Caleb described, but they also didn't seem to be mentally prepared or into it either. And that happens. And it happened to a bad team that they should have won at least a couple of games against. Let's take the Ohtani game away. It didn't happen, but this effort tonight, it did. It looked different. And I'm going to point out Teoscar because on the weekend, it was probably the worst example that we saw of a player not prepared to play the game of baseball. And he was a different player tonight. So whether that's health, physically, whether that's health mentally, he's in a much better place because he was engaged. And you can see, perhaps on the weekend, maybe not just him, maybe it's a wake-up call for a lot of players, but the wake-up call happened, the bells are ringing, this team was ready to play.
And because the fans of this team are passionate and vocal, he was, certainly the source of a lot of their frustration. And he showed tonight to be locked in, shall we say. He is standing down beside Hazel May right now. Hazel.
Teoscar Hernandez just came over and said, "Yay, I hit it." You did hit it. First pitch swinging, opposite field, 3-run home run for number 19 on the season. Listen, I don't have to tell you, it's been a tough stretch, Teo. On the field, at the plate, injuries. How big was this, not only for your team, but for you?
I mean, for me, it's special. Every time we hit the ball like that, it's special.
It's been a grind for you. You said it's special. How much did this one mean?
I mean, especially when we were down, I just tried to put the ball in play, try to help the team in any way as possible, and then that's what I did.
I saw you in the dugout, your arm around Bo Bichette with his arm around you. You guys were smiling, but you were also motioning with your hand. What were you guys talking about?
I mean, it's been a tough, like you say, tough like a couple of weeks for me, for the team, and a lot of injuries and all that stuff, and hit a ball like that in that situation, it was special. We were all happy and we enjoyed it.
Everybody else was enjoying it. We also enjoyed a tremendous diving catch in right field on that sinking line drive. Wow. Take us through what's going on in your mind as you watch that ball come off the bat.
I mean, I just went for it, tried to pick up Ghostman in that situation. I know if that ball would have fell, it would be another run for him. I just do the best that I can, and I caught it.
All right, it's nice to see Teoscar Hernandez smile once again. Congratulations, see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Teoscar Hernandez and the Blue Jays take game 2 of this 3-game series, guys.
Hazel, I won't lie, it's been quite humid around here. I could use one of those bio-steel showers from Vladdy right about now. Let's send it up to the broadcast booth. Second straight win over the Cubs for the Blue Jays. Here's Dan and Buck.
Jamie, thank you very much. The interview with Hazel and Teoscar Hernandez. Some joy, some relief for Teoscar Hernandez as he has a good night, and it reminds all of us what an important part of this team he is.
Yeah, he's a big part of the team, and I think everybody understands how important he is. And tonight we saw a different Teoscar Hernandez than we've seen lately because he was focused both in the field and at the plate. This is in the 4th inning after a home run by Contreras. Suzuki was at first base. This gets by Teoscar. It's going to be another run, and the Blue Jays would have been down 2-0. But he made a tremendous catch out there, and then with 2 aboard, the first pitch in the 6th inning, he smokes it into the opposite field as he shows what kind of hitter he can be. He hit his 19th home run, a 3-run shot that gave the Blue Jays the lead at that point. And I think the biggest thing about Teo is tonight he came prepared to play. He has had some games where you wonder, is his focus really there? And yeah, they talk about the foot injuries. I think more than anything, Teo understands who he has to be when he steps on the field every night because he can do that on a nightly basis.
And as a team, they have looked much sharper here in the first 2 games against the Cubs than they looked for part of the weekend, most of the weekend series against the Angels. And as a result, they've got a couple of wins here, and they'll try to sweep it tomorrow.
And Dan, as you know, the save goes to Jordan Romano, who is clearly among the elite in terms of closing in the major leagues. And he's being utilized a little differently now under John Schneider.
We are seeing that. That could be John Schneider's doing. That could be a little of Jordan Romano's doing, because we have heard Schneider say that he's come in the dugout sometimes after an out in the 8th inning and said, Skip, I've got this. This is my game. So sure enough, it happened again tonight. And when your bullpen gets into these situations, it didn't appear as though Jimmy Garcia was available tonight. I thought Bass might go a little longer, but Trevor Richards came in and got a couple of key outs, facing a couple lefties in the 8th, but ultimately hands it over to Jordan, and then Jordan just goes out and does his thing. What I find remarkable about this, Caleb, is that pitchers, we always talk about them being kind of creatures of habit, and they're so robotic, but Jordan has proven to be exactly the opposite of that. And Buck made a great point on the broadcast. A former starting pitcher in the minor leagues, he's showing a lot of flexibility.
You're exactly right. And earlier in the season, there was kind of talk about, well, does he need a clean inning? Does he want a clean inning? Only 12.5% of inherited runners have scored. So whether he wants it or needs it, he's getting that out. And just to have that versatility in the bullpen is so amazing, especially when it's your best pitcher. So what I can't get a hold of really is where they're going to go if he is used so much. But remember, there was a span there where he wasn't used. A lot of fans were even saying, where is Romano? Where's Romano? 4 or 5, 6 days without pitching. Maybe it was by design so that he could come this late in the season and really empty the tank running into the playoff run for the Blue Jays. But to have him be able to go multiple innings, it's amazing.
Marcus Stroman pitched a nice game, and I think to the thrill of 33,000 plus, he was on the losing end despite the nice effort. So things tended to work out for the Blue Jays tonight against the Chicago Cubs. They will look for a sweep tomorrow. Join us for Blue Jays Central, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. It's the 14th annual Jays Care broadcast auction as we send it back to Carly and Jesse.
Thank you, Jamie. And we will have much more from Rogers Center coming up right here on Sportsnet Central, including reaction from both the Blue Jays clubhouse and Marcus Stroman. Stick around.